So I have not been this excited to talk about a book in a long time. Like, I've gone all out for this. We've got the pumpkin top on and everything to talk about the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And I cannot believe that this is the book that I am getting so excited over. But we're going to get into it because this book, like, wrapped me up and shipped me off to Dream Harbour, because I have completely fallen in love with this book, and the whole Dream Harbour series is about to become my entire personality. So I bought the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, 100% honesty here, purely for the cover. I mean, look, it's a great cover. I honestly could not have cared less what was written on these pages. I bought it because I'm a huge autumn fan, and I just thought that would look really cute out on some shelves. But because I'd spent money on it, I was obviously going to read it. And I have been reading a lot of horror novels recently. Like, I'm a big horror thriller reader anyway. Like, I will give any genre a go. I'm not tied to one specific genre. But I don't really do romance and spice. It's not for me. They're just not the books I gravitate towards at all. So when I started reading this and could not put it down, I was very pleasantly surprised. And I know there's going to be so many people that disagree with this, but I actually ended up giving this 5 stars in the end. And not for all of the usual reasons that I give 5 stars to books for, because I completely understand why this does not get good reviews. When you look on Goodreads and things like that, it gets very like middle of the road or quite bad reviews in some cases. And I get it. It was super cheesy. It was super corny. There was a lot of repetitive stuff in there, especially when it came to like the spicy scenes. But they are honestly all the reasons that I loved it for, and more. I could have spent quite easily another 300-400 pages reading about the cafe and Jeannie and Logan, because I just did not want this to end. I absolutely loved it. And you see a lot of people like on BookTok and Bookstagram and all that talking about this book, but only talking about the cover. No one ever really dives into a review of it. So that's what we're going to do. So I will keep it spoiler free as much as I can. Because I know this is a very popular book for this time of year. So Jeannie packs up and moves from Boston to a little town called Dream Harbour to run her aunt's cafe, which is called the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Her aunt's gone travelling and she wants to give it all to Jeannie. So Jeannie takes over the cafe and very quickly falls in love with a sexy farmer. So Logan, it's a very like, Jeannie's the sunshine, female main character, and Logan is the grumpy main male character. So she ends up roping Logan into helping her find out what these strange noises are that she's hearing in the cafe. That turns out to be a cat, which is why there's a little cat on the cover. And while they're doing like their stakeouts and all that, they're falling for each other. It's so like predictable and stereotypical, I am fully aware, but I loved it. So yeah, it's basically about Jeannie and Logan deciding whether they should be together or not. Logan's got a few issues going on. Like, Logan needed to be in therapy right from page 1, if we're being honest, but the man has some issues around abandonment, and he is like trying to push Jeannie away a little bit because he thinks that she's just gonna pack up and leave. And then Jeannie's a little bit like, I don't know if this is what I want from my new life, but he is really cute. And yeah, that is basically the entire plot of the book, is them backing and forth in whether they should be together, while Jeannie is making a new life for herself in this cute little autumnal town of Dream Harbour. And obviously it's got some little subplots about Jeannie making new friends and starting her new life there. And I just loved all of the characters in this book. Like, yes, it's not that well written. Like, most of my 5-star books get 5 stars because they're extremely well written. They've got lots of description and imagery in there, or they provoke lots of intense emotions. I just had fun reading this, like so much fun. Like, I would probably say I have not had this much fun reading a book this whole year. And yeah, I think it was just the right place and right time for me to read this, because I have been reading a lot of horrors. Like, I've read 5 horror books back to back, one of which was my first ever splatterpunk book. So it was a big departure from this sort of thing, and I just needed a palate cleanser. I needed a break, and this provided all of that and more. So I will say, I think what takes a lot of people by surprise with this book as well is it is very cosy, it's very wholesome, super autumnal, like giving Gilmore Girl vibes definitely, but it does have some spice in it towards the end, and I think that, like, not upsets people, but people think it takes away from the story a little bit. I was fine with it. Like I say, I'm not a spice reader. This was fairly mild, if we're being honest, but I didn't mind. Apparently the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which is the next one in this, is a little bit more spicier. So if this one wasn't for you, probably don't go on to the other one. But I am absolutely gagging to move on to the next book, but I'm not going to do it just yet. I'm going to pace myself because I don't want my Dream Harbour little thing that I've got going on being over just yet. So yeah, there's really not a whole lot going on. It's not an intricate plot. It's just super cozy, super cute, super simple. Like, there is nothing in this book that you need to dedicate brain space to and thinking time to. And that is just exactly what I needed right now, which I think is why I loved it so much, and why I just cannot stop talking about this book at the minute. I am so not ready to leave this story behind, but I'm going to have to and read something else and then come back to the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. But honestly, for a book that I picked entirely for the cover, I am blown away by how much I enjoyed this, and I am super glad that it had such an autumnal cover that drew me in, because I am hooked and I'm not even mad about it. Like, I don't know who I am anymore reading spice and romance, but here we are. I'd love to know if you've read it and what your thoughts are on it. Like I say, it's very Marmite, I feel, this book. Some people absolutely love it, some people hate it. So let me know if you've read it in the comments below and what you thought of it. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.